Smile was a weird movie this year. You see, back when the trailers dropped earlier this year, I saw them and instantly knew that this movie was bad, and I literally gave it no chance. I didn't give it a single ounce of respect going into this movie the first time viewing. I saw this at my local drive-in movie theaters. Yes, they still have a thing, and I thought it was bad the first time I watched it. Didn't give it a chance, as I said. Whoever edited those trailers should be fired because those trailers were hot garbage. So, sitting in the cold, cold rain on a beautiful starry night, watching this movie, I laughed at parts I shouldn't have laughed at. So, when I found out that it was going to be on Paramount Plus, I decided to rewatch it. And, oh boy, I don't think I was wrong, but I think I was wrong a little bit. So, let's take a look back at Smile. So, let's start off with things I liked about the movie. I really enjoyed the cinematography in this movie. I thought there was really interesting shots, interesting POV shots coming in. I like anytime the world spins because it shows, in my opinion, the character, like her world turning upside down. The main character of this movie, Rose, played by the Baconator's daughter himself, Susie Bacon. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. She has appeared in some shows that I've seen, such as 13 Reasons Why, and I thought she was whatever in that. You know, I don't think that show was very good, but I think she did a good job in this movie. I think she was the only actor that did a good job. Joel, her not boyfriend, the police officer character, played by Kyle Gallner. Again, not know if I pronounced that correctly. I thought he did alright for what his character was. Other than them, it was kind of fell flat to me. You know, it just seemed like no one else really gave a shit. And in this movie, I feel like with most psychological horror movies, you need to have actors and characters that are interesting. And these guys just fell flat on their face. They were played by Jesse T. Usher, which is Rose's fiance. He appears in like 5 minutes of the movie, and every time he was on screen, I checked my phone because no fault to the actor. I don't know, what happened, behind the camera, behind the scenes, but I feel like his character was just bleh, whatever. Just like with most of the other characters, just bleh, whatever. And I feel like in these kind of movies, that's kind of bad. This was supposed to be things I liked, and those were the only two really things I liked. Actually, no, I lied. I did like the psychological parts of this movie. When it played to its strengths and played the psychological game, I really enjoyed it. And let's get on to the bad. So, to start off this section, the bad section, I'd have to really start with the whole premise of the movie, the smile itself. Every time someone smiled, I thought it was funny, and I don't think you're supposed to think it was funny. You're definitely not supposed to think it's funny. I just think it looks silly, and when you're, doing a psychological horror movie, it can't be goofy. Like, you can't have goofy moments in the movie. I mean, we'll go back to my favorite horror movie ever, The Shining. You have the bear blowjob scene, which is kind of goofy, but that's kind of like, what the fuck is going on? There was a lot of what the fuck moments in this movie, but I don't think it was a good, it wasn't good moments. It was kind of moments where, like, stuff is happening, but not much is happening. There's a lot of talking in this movie, as psychological horror movies usually do, but I feel like the writing didn't really hold up for me. The length of this movie, 2 hours, is a long time, and I know some of my favorite horror movies and movies in general are that length or longer, but I feel like those movies do a better job of filling out that runtime. There's a lot of scenes in this movie where it's either characters looking at computer stuff or just spewing exposition, which is like, what are we doing here? Let's move on. I feel like you could probably get from A to B, the start from the beginning in like, I don't know, an hour and a half, hour 45. Probably do, shave off 10 minutes. That's just my opinion. I don't know how, to do that. I don't make movies. I just sit here at my desk and watch them and judge them. So you can take my opinion for what it's worth. But the ending. We'll go to the ending now. Spoilers. If you have not seen the movie, it is out on Paramount Plus. I will be spoiling it now. So if you haven't seen it, then I don't know what you're doing past this video. You must not care. But here we go. So at the beginning of the movie, Rose, played by Susie Bacon. I believe that's just what I'm going to pronounce it from now on. If that's wrong, I'm sorry. She's playing Rose, who is a psychologist, I believe. I don't know her actual profession or if that's what she is. Let's just roll with that. She's some sort of doctor that works with mental people. And I believe that it's a psychologist. So at the beginning of the movie, she gets a patient that is saying that the demon thing is going to kill her. She doesn't quite say what this demon is, and she, I guess, is possessed by this demon and smiles and kills herself. So then Rose is now infected with the smile, is what I referred it as. So the smile, what it is, it's not really explained in depth, which I like. I like, in horror movies when it doesn't show it. It leaves it up to interpretation. Until it becomes a monster at the end. But from what it gathers is that it is a demon that just wants to kill people, and that's alright, I guess. It's a fine premise if some spooky stuff happens. Not really a lot of spooky going on, but we'll continue. So Rose is trying to tell everyone about the smile, and no one believes her because, of course, they don't believe her because she sounds like a crazy person. I would not believe her either. So she goes to the not boyfriend, Joel, and Joel is a cop who tries to help Rose figure out the smile. So eventually they make their way to see a prisoner that was infected with the smile but escaped the smile. The only way you can escape the smile apparently is to kill someone. And apparently you have to kill someone where there's a witness, so that the witness gets infected with the smile, and then you live in jail for the rest of your life. So there's not much reason to do that. I guess if you don't want to die, but then if you kill someone, then you're literally in jail forever. So that's a thing. So then Rose finally gets the bright idea of going to her mom's cabin, which her mom also committed suicide, and so she plans to stay there so the smile can't infect anyone else. And of course Joel, hearing the news, as any sane person would do, he would go to where she is, and the smile continues on. That's basically what happens throughout the entire movie. I summed that up in about 5 minutes, and this movie took 2 hours to get there. The end. Obviously, I've been alluding to this. It's been a psychological horror movie throughout, and then the end is like, no, giant monster, here you go. This is what this has been leading to. And you're like, what is going on? The monster looks like shit. It looks shitty and amazing at the same time. It looks amazing for the wrong reasons. When you shoot a monster like this and it doesn't look very good, you tend to use dark lighting, and they did not decide to use that in this movie. This movie is a weird one because there was a lot of things that I didn't like, but the cinematography honestly saved some of the movie. It kept me interested. The shots, the music, the lack of music, the suspense, I feel like is good. but not good enough to not balance this movie out. So I would say it's about a 5 out of 10. This movie is on Paramount Plus if you want to see it. It's a fun watch if you watch it with people, and not like I do when I watch scary movies and I watch them by myself in a fully lit room. So yes, go see Smile. Just because if you like movies and you like scary movies, I feel like you would like this movie. So go check it out on Paramount Plus.